Welcome back to Okaloosa today. Thanks to our friends from the City of Destin for giving us that update. Now it's time for the City of Fort Walton Beach, and I'm honored to have with us our monthly visitor, Jeff Peters, Director of Recreation, and our annual visit from David Trim from the golf course. David, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
Always exciting time frame. Speaking of exciting, Jeff, let's start off, before we get into the golf course, let's talk about the rec center and the exciting news that we heard last evening at the City Council meeting. Tell everyone.
Yeah, as we've discussed a few times on this show, we're getting pretty close to the end of the recreation complex, the fields and the building and everything, and just found out news this week that Preston Hood at Preston Hood Chevrolet has come forward to sponsor the athletic complex at an amount of $250,000. So it will be the Preston Hood Athletic Complex at the Fort Walton Beach Recreation Complex.
You know, it's a great thing, as you well know, David, certainly. Preston Hood has been in business probably close to 50 years, right there, and they just have always been a wonderful community supporter. This is a wonderful designation for them to do such.
Yeah, really. I mean, they stepped up, and as he said, you know, this is he's been here 45 or 50 years, and this is a project that he feels like is probably the best one that he's seen in his 50 years here or so, and so we're real happy. And we've had some other ones, Okaloosa Gas and Gulf Power and PS Gifts and Wyndham Garden Resort and Hayward Dykes, our city attorney, have stepped up and done some sponsorships. So we are really excited about the community support.
Plenty of opportunities to help promote your business from a Chamber of Commerce standpoint, not only at the rec center, but at the golf course, which we'll chat about in just a second. But lastly, on the rec center, opening in a couple of months,
Yeah, we're looking. We've got furniture coming in March 30th.
Right.
We've got the gym floor going in as we speak, and the flooring and ceiling and everything are going in. The roof's complete. All the windows and doors are in the building, so it's getting really, really close. Fencing's going up on the athletic fields.
Right.
All the lighting is complete, so we're getting real, real close.
I'm sure Sean and Jerry are going to show some pictures of it here, but it's been an amazing transformation from about 2 years ago now, when we first started talking about it, to now it's ready to open.
Yeah, 18 months ago, I've kept a pretty good slideshow of pictures throughout the course of the construction, but 18 months ago it was a slab when the old building was taken down. So, it's been a pretty interesting 18 months.
Been a good ride, and we're stay tuned for more of that in upcoming shows. Speaking of good rides, David, the golf course is looking great. You had some upgrades. Let's talk about them.
Oh boy, it's been tremendous. The City Council voted back in August to help us. We've had some issues with our greens the last 3 years, the last 3 summers, and they agreed to put some money into it. We replaced 7 greens and part of 9 others on the pines, and it has helped us tremendously. The people are coming back, our memberships are increasing, and it really looks like we're going to have a great spring, summer this year, and years to come. We had a USGA official come in, an agronomist, gave us some suggestions, and Jeff agreed, the council agreed. We took his suggestions, and we're up and running great now.
Unbelievable. It's Jeff, congratulations, certainly the overviewer of this. Now, people would not realize that this is the busy time of year here in the winter time.
It really is. You know, you would think the summer would, just because it's warm and everything, but we've got so many snowbirds in this area, and our golf course is as competitively priced as any around. So, and it's a fairly easily playable course. They can score well. So we make 60% of our revenue for the most part in the January, February, March timeframe.
I'll be darned. So as a result, David, do you speak Canadian?
Not very well.
Okay.
No, I'm not real fluent in French.
But it is wonderful to see the birds there. It's a great amenity, and they've got to be very pleased with the pricing structure.
Oh, they are. I mean, we do have the best prices around, and
Right.
And we offer 2 fine facilities. 2 totally different facilities, and they're just fun to play.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And speaking of facilities, I like to go back and forth. Jeff, the clubhouse has had some new tweaks in there. Mr. T and the folks. What's going on over the clubhouse?
Yeah, well, as you know, the 2 trees is still in there. Edwin Watts Golf Shop is in there. Really, just a beautiful facility. We just had some upgrades, painted the entire outside of the building.
Nice.
Around the entire perimeter. And those of you who hadn't been out there, I mean, it's a large facility. So it was quite an undertaking, but that was completed recently, and we're really excited about the way the clubhouse looks and the greens look, and it's just good times out there.
So, David, you've been here a couple of years. How long have you been there now?
5 years now.
5 years, wow, isn't that something? You've seen a roller coaster of success, and you mentioned certainly some turf issues last year, which are now resolved. But how about this corporate sponsorship we mentioned? We talked about at the scoreboards, and certainly Preston Hood there at the rec center, but some sponsorship opportunities on the golf course.
We're trying to upgrade all our tee marker signs, the granite tee markers that's set on each tee, and to replace those would cost $600 or $700 each.
Wow.
So we've come up with an idea. The people at Mark Rodriguez at Sign Source has come up with a plan that we can replace the face of these very inexpensively. They look identical to granite. You can't tell that it's not granite when he puts it on it. So we're going to reface all of them. We're going to sell small advertisements on the bottom of them for, I think it's a 1 foot by 1 foot ad that businesses can invest in. And we're about to hit the streets with that real soon.
Isn't that something? This is the first announcement to the public right here. So as a Chamber of Commerce guy, Jeffrey, we have a 1 foot square opportunity. Why would a business put their name on there? How many people a day, a week, a month are going to see it, do you think?
Well, you know, I mean, there's thousands and thousands of rounds that come through the golf course, and David could probably tell you almost down to the
70,000.
Yeah, 70,000.
70,000 a year are going to play the course.
And that goes over the span of 2 courses. We've got the Oaks course, which is 18 holes, and the Pines course, which is 18. So, you know, there's 36 hole sponsorship opportunities that a lot of people will see.
So only 36 in this case. So, folks, if you're out there now thinking of a unique way to market your business, call David at the golf course?
That would be the best one.
And share this new idea of putting a promotional aspect at each hole. That's cool. Now, speaking of cool, let's talk about golf in general. I know you're going after the younger golfer now.
Right.
Who wants to talk about some of the new programs you have there? David, you.
Well, the PGA of America, the last couple of years have come up with a sort of a takeoff on Little League Baseball.
All right.
And they've started the Junior League of Golf. And it gives kids, last year it was 8 to 13, this year they're expanding it to 16. Gives them a chance to play, kids that have never played before. And that's really more or less what this is meant to do. It's meant to get them out there, have them play in a group atmosphere, a team atmosphere. They put jerseys on them with numbers on them, like baseball players or football players, and it's a 9-hole match. And last year we had 4 courses involved in this area: Gator Lakes, Shalimar Point, Eglin, and us. This year Blue Water Bay has joined in on that as well. So we're going to have 5 teams locally playing from roughly the middle of April until the 1st of June.
Isn't that something? And what are the ages again?
8 to 16
8
this
to
year.
16.
Yeah, I think it's 8 to 12 and then 13 to 16 are the 2 age brackets.
All right.
And then we also have the First Tee program that's been going on for last couple of years, which is a great opportunity. It's a learning process over a number of years, and it teaches kids not only how to play golf, but more life skills. And it's a tremendous program. It's a very in-depth program. So we have that going on. We'll have junior clinics over the summer. Of course, we host right now 3 middle school golf teams, actually 6, because each of them have a girls and a boys team. So we're involved in that, and then in the fall of the year we'll get back into the high school golf teams as well.
So busy with everything from snowbirds to 8-year-olds. So just running the gamut. Jeff, now you have a couple of kids that fit that demographic. Are they participating in any way?
They do. We've. I was fortunate enough to, when I grew up, my dad played golf and would tote us up to the driving range. So, you know, kind of, I've always enjoyed golf since I was able to swing a club, I guess. But and my kids enjoy it. So we live a mile from the golf course, so they really enjoy the game. And you know, playing other sports, you know, you don't get to play every day like you probably need to be a great golfer, but they do enjoy it and love going out to the range and playing.
It's nice. Now David, you know, there's this perception that golf is an expensive sport and so on and so forth. What you're doing is you're replenishing the farm league. You're bringing in the next generation. Are you finding that there is a strong demand, that the kids have that much time to play and they enjoy it?
Oh, I think so. You know, we get a lot of it from parents that play.
Okay, good.
So their kids are passing that on to them, and but we also have a good following of kids that their parents don't play. So
there we go.
And the programs that the PGA has put on, the First Tee program is subsidized by the government, and kids at different income brackets, they can join at a lesser fee. So everything is kind of geared towards helping the youngsters out right now.
Well, it is certainly, let's talk about the city rec. The golf course is a pretty big component of the program.
Sure.
And what would you tell any of the city candidates? We have a big race coming up, May 10th, don't forget, or March 10th rather, don't forget to vote for our candidates. What would you tell any of those candidates in referencing the importance of the golf course to the city in general?
Well, and I've said this many times since I've been in the recreation department, but the golf course it's a recreational activity. I mean, I think years ago it was kind of looked at as this is a business, and we need to be making money, this and this, but it's a recreational activity.
Right.
The city, it's a gym in the city. I mean, we've got 2 beautiful golf courses, and it's no different than the recreation department, the soccer leagues, and the library and the museum, and you don't really operate making a lot of revenue in those. You subsidize it to make some of your expenses back, but I mean, it's a recreational activity that really the city of Fort Walton Beach has bought into the quality of life,
right.
And that's something that we're real proud of.
And very few cities in this whole Northwest Florida have their own golf course, I would imagine, right? Are there any at all?
Only Pensacola.
Pensacola.
Pensacola has an 18-hole golf course. That's the only municipal course around.
So when we talk about the quality of life in Fort Walton with all the parks and all the activities for kids and all the water and all sorts of stuff, it's just another layer of greatness of being a member of a resident of Fort Walton.
That's one of the reasons we live here.
One of the reasons we live here. Now, I'm assuming, for those who are just turning it on right now, there's deals if you're a city resident?
We have membership rates that are less for city residents than county residents. We take both. So, and like we said before, the fees are very nominal.
That's what I gathered.
Compared to everyone else.
Now, while we're on that subject, a lot of the nonprofits in this community are always looking for fundraisers. How easy is it to plan a golf tournament?
Very easy.
All right.
We, from the months of actually March, April, May, June, pretty heavy on Fridays and Saturdays.
Right.
Thursdays have become a big tournament day. But other than those months right there, we're very open and happy to do it. Easier for us to do events because we have 36 holes. We can close a golf course down and have an event on it and still have our members and public play on the other ones. So
that's wonderful.
It's an ideal situation.
And we can tell all the folks out there watching that if they have any, how do I plan a tournament, et cetera, just contact you and your fine staff. And candidly, it's kind of a turnkey deal. Speaking on behalf of the Chamber, you pretty much run the whole thing when we have tournaments there.
We sure do, yeah.
So I'd highly recommend that, folks. If you're looking for a fundraiser for your nonprofit or your church or your Little League, et cetera, get in touch with David, have a tournament there because the course is looking great, and so on and so forth. Speaking of things looking great, let's talk about the Bud and Dory Day Patriots Trail, Jeff. Give us some updates.
Well, and gladly. Ted, you and I have worked on this since day one, walking the trail with tape measure and stuff. So to date, all of the wooden privacy fencing, which is close to 1,000 feet, is complete. A lot of the black vinyl coated fencing, which is running around the ditch line and along a couple of the properties, is complete. The concrete crews, the city concrete crews will be pouring the concrete, the whole trail at 1,760 feet. And they'll be starting to form those up and pouring this. It's a little bit of weather this week, but they'll be pouring for the next 90 days, and that will be complete. We're looking at an opening date event, as you'll probably mention here shortly. But it's going to be an asset to the city. It ties into the Ferry Park Trail, which is a mile, and the Bud Day Trail is a half a mile. So realistically, if you started up at the Warren Averett Popeyes area,
Right, sure.
come down the trail, walk the Ferry Park Trail, and in back at the Popeyes in Warren Averett area, that's a 2-mile trail.
Have you had a chance to walk it yet, David?
No, not
You have
yet,
not. You've been
no.
busy at the course. But as Jeff mentioned, it is going to open sometime in May, and we're honored to say that Dory Day is inviting some of her and Bud's special friends to come in, and these are big, powerful people in our country. So stay tuned for that, but sometime in May will be the official opening. And we're very excited that Sonia, Bud and Dory Day's daughter, and her daughter, as it turns out, are creating the historical markers, or creating their life. So as you walk the trail, not only will you get the physical aspect of the conditioning and such, but you'll have signs by Dick Marks from Fast Signs. We'll put some signs out there so you'll be able to walk it and read and learn about Bud and Dory's life. We're very excited for this opportunity.
Absolutely. It's going to be a gem and another, feather in the cap for the city of Fort Walton Beach, and it really ties. There's not a lot of sidewalks back in the Ferry Park area, so just up on Eglin Parkway, there's the grocery stores and the ice cream place, everything
Right.
that's up at Uptown Station, and to be able to get there safely will be another amenity for
It's
sure.
going to be something. I'll never. The California ditch is just dropped in this little behind these houses, and it's going to be another great amenity. We only have a couple more minutes, David. Is there anything we've missed about the golf course? Any shout outs? Anything we've missed specifically?
Well, we had some damage in last April's big rain.
All right.
And we have gotten approval. We've seen some dollar figures that FEMA is going to give us to complete the work that needs to be done. So that's going to be something that we'll be doing. Another upgrade on the facility.
Look at that. It just keeps on going, doesn't it?
It gets better and
5
better
years
every
of
day.
upgrades. Every day it gets better and better at the Fort Walton Beach Municipal Golf Course. Anything else, Jeffrey, in the rec center? You got any league sign up or?
Yeah, I would like to mention too, at the tail end here, we actually this year we used to do soccer, baseball, and girls softball and stuff together. We said, let's try to maximize and let them play both. So we have basketball going on now. We've got 520 people signed up for
Wow,
soccer.
look at that.
Added a U19 league, added 3 to 4 teams in all the leagues, and then baseball and girls softball will start after the soccer season's over, so those kids can play both. But we're real excited, and the numbers are popping through the seams right now, and we're really excited about where we're going and the facilities that we'll have, and it's just going to make it better.
It's just amazing at the new Preston Hood Athletic Complex.
Right.
All those fields will be added onto this. So you have 500 playing soccer now. Imagine how many you might have
Absolutely.
Next year at this time.
That's right.
David, it's just an amazing place to work for the city, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's so much fun every day. But I tell you what, you think about, look at what the high schools have done athletically, and that starts at age 5.
Right.
There you go.
I mean, 500 kids playing soccer. Isn't that amazing?
It is.
At that age, you can see why Choctawhatchee High School wins the state championship in that. It's wonderful to be here.
Absolutely. Jeff Peters, keep up the good job at the Park and Rec Department for the city. David Trim invites everyone who's watching to come out and play, whether you're an 8-year-old or you're a 75-year-old snowbird from Minnesota. Stop by and see our folks at the municipal course. Well done, gentlemen. Nice to have you here. Speaking of well done, thanks to Jerry and Sean from Cox who help us out each and every month. Stay tuned, everyone. Our good friend Kathy Newby will continue with the update of Okaloosa County. We'll see you next month here on Okaloosa Today.